by exempting ESCOM, you are actually saying they must go and do bad things and not disclose them.
Umkhandlu wezamabhizinisi uthi ukulisa iEscom bona ingalandeli ikambiso ye-PFMA kufana nokuyinikela ithuba lokuthi izenzele umathanda.
I've written you an agent letter.
I will look at that letter. Thank you.
And it's not for you only, it's for the committee. And evidence
you.
Leaders are not members.
I did not give you platform, just mute here.
Baphakamisele namaphimbo kodwa umvikeli womphakathi ojanyisiwe kwesikhundleni uadvocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane nosihlalo wekomiti emphenya kweParlamente uqubudile Tyanji.
We play each and every game to win, so it'll be the same going into the Cape Town City game. We don't want to get complacent. There's still a lot to play for.
Ithwela magugu eMamelodi Sundowns isiye emdlalweni wePSL namhlanje ebusuku. Siyalochisa begodwa siyakwamukela ehlelweni lendaba ezinabileko ihlelo sibuya nenyanda. Ngingubranko Nkambule. Ngiyathokoza ukwamukelwa nguwe. Umjaphethe womnqophisi zombelele ofisini yezemali uIsmail Momoniat usihlathululile isiqundo abasithetheko sokuthi ESCOM ikhutshwe ekambisweni yinye yomthetho olawula imali zombuso iPublic Finance Management Act. Phambilini ESCOM ibawe iofisi yezemali bona ikhutshwe kule kambiso yomthetho ngombana ithi ezinye imfanelo zomthetho iPMFA zenza kube budisi bona kuphasiswe amahlelo aqhakathekileko wakwa ESCOM.
Akusingeke kuthoma kuthiwa basho ikampani yombuso ikhutshwa ekambisweni yokulandela umthetho olawula imali zembusweni. Ngomnyaka opheleleko iTransnet yanikelwa ilungelo elinjalo nayo. Iofisi ekulu yezemali ithi izindaba zobujamo bama-account nokuthi zibikwa njani.
If you look at ESCOM and Transnet, they already have the highest accounting standards for their financial statements. They have to do the so-called IFRS, and they have to report in terms of the JSE rules because of their bonds and so on. But in addition, what happens is the PFMA has provisions that some of them relate to transgressions against particular laws and so on. That may or may not be of a financial nature. And so we're saying when it's not material and it's not related to corruption, they still have to report it, but in their annual report. And they're exempted from doing so in their financial statements. Because what's happening is that they tend to get qualified when other companies won't be qualified because of those minor transgressions that you have in the system. And after state capture, we found that there's such a build-up of these. It then impacts on their ability to fund, and they come back to the fiscus for more funding.
Ekulmina benayo ne-SABC ngovela bahlinza umnyaka opheleleko umphathi walokhu wakwa-ESCOM wazwakalisa ukuthwenyeka ngesikhathi eside esithathwako ukuphasisa isibawo sokukhutshwa ekambisweni yalo mthetho. Basho ngasikhathi okubangela ukuthi balahlekelwe ngamanye amathuba.
I had no proper appreciation of the enormous bureaucracy that affects an organization like ESCOM from a procurement perspective, from a liquidity perspective, from a governance perspective. To give an example, up until recently, to appoint a contractor, we had to go through 8 separate committees. That's now been reduced to 3, but it's still far more onerous than anything that you'd experience in the private sector. My record for the lowest amount for which I had to approach National Treasury for approval is 70,000 Rand. Now, if as the chief executive of a very large industrial corporation, I have to write a letter to National Treasury asking, please, can I sign for 70,000 Rand? You can imagine how slow that process is. So I think there's a lot of well-intentioned governance, but as increasingly we've heard also from cabinet ministers, the red tape has got to a point where it's really slowing us down to a complete standstill.
Umkhandlu wezamabhizinisi uthi isiqundo esithatha njengesinganasizathu begodu semariyahlana wokuvikela umphathi walokhu wakwa-ESCOM uAndre de Ruyter ekubhalelweni kwakhe ukulandela umthetho olawula imali iPublic Finance Management Act. Umkhandlu wezamabhizinisi lo uthi ufuna umhlangano ohabako nongqongqothe wezemali uEnoch Godongwana ukuyokhulumisana ngalezi ndaba zakwa-ESCOM.
The intention of the PFMA is to make sure that the findings is to make sure that the expenditure, fruitless expenditure, wasteful expenditure is disclosed so that the public can see how ESCOM or any other organ of state utilizes the public funds. So by exempting ESCOM, you are actually saying they must go and do bad things and not disclose them. So you're actually encouraging bad governance. And then we've seen the note that is trying to explain this, but it's very contradicting itself, because it says this will be disclosed in the annual reports, but not in the annual financial statements. But any funder who wants to fund any organ of state, they're going to read both the financial statements and annual report.
Ihlangano le ebizwa nge-Organization Undoing Tax Abuse i-outer ithi nanyana umnqopho kuyinto ehle kusesenemraro naziza endabeni zokuthembana malungana ne-ESCOM.
The reason why this has now created the storm is that really we just don't trust. You know, it is, what is this all about? What are we hiding and why are we doing it? So yes, ESCOM should be able to run the business in the best interest of ESCOM and then South Africa. But then on the other hand, why do we have these regulations? Shouldn't we look at, the reasons therefore, instead of just, exempting ESCOM from reporting on, especially irregular and fruitless and wasteless expenditure.
It could be argued that this should have been approached with a lot more caution by government and ESCOM due to the fact that there are so many questions and red flags concerning corruption at ESCOM and the inability of government and ESCOM to deal decisively with this corruption and the questions that are hanging around this. And I think that ESCOM and Treasury will need to provide a lot more clarity on this to instill confidence in the market on this exemption and the fact that it won't be abused or used to evade further accountability.
I-ofisi enkulu yezemali ithi zonke izenzo zokusetshenziswa kwemali ngendlela engakafanele nangendlela engazwisisekiko kunye nangobudlapha kufuze kuhlolisiswe kukhanye embikweni waqobe eminyaka wezemali wakwa-ESCOM. Ukungasetshenziswa kwemali ngendlela efaneleyo okwenziwa ngobulelesi namkha izenzo ezibe nomphumela wokuloba imali kusafuze zivezwe estatementini semali kunye nembikweni wemali waqobe eminyaka.
Umvikeli womphakathi ojanyisiwe kwesikhundleni uadvocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane ufuna bona ijanyiswe msinyana iphenyo leParlamente eliraga ngaphandle kwakhe. Umkhwebane uhlathulule ukulalelwa kobufakazi ngaye angekho namagcwetha akhe njengesenzo esiphambana nomthetho nesidelela ikambiso yamakhotho. Uadvocate Mkhwebane unikele ikomiti yeParlamente ukufikela ngelesine ngemva kwamadina bona imphendule. Namhlanje kuseni kebabhodlelana kumbi uadvocate Mkhwebane nosihlalo wekomiti emphenyako uqubudile Tjantji.
Uadvocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane uthi batsho lokhu kumfanele ingasuthi balinga ukufihlo khunye ngemva kokuthi yena ethule ubufakazi be-CR17 nebe-SARS. Umkhwebane ubuye wathathana nosihlalo wekomiti ephenyako legodu namhlanje sekuseni uqubudile Tjantji.
Advocate Mkhwebane, I see you've raised your hand. I'm going to hear you out, but I just want to explain this is a committee meeting. And people who participate in it are members only. So I wouldn't want to entertain any other person except the members. It's a committee meeting. So I just want to indicate that I see you've raised your hand. I cannot take it. You'll have to find another way if you need to communicate with the chair. It is a committee meeting. I'm only allowing members to participate in the meeting.
Not members, Chairperson. I've written you an agent letter.
I will look at that letter. Thank you.
And it's not for you only. It's for the committee. And evidence leaders are not members.
I did not give you platform. Just mute here. You're not going to repeat that. Okay. This is a meeting of the committee.
I've sent you a letter.
You are not a member unless you are.
But the evidence leaders are not members.
Just mute her. Just mute her. It's a committee meeting. You're completely out of order. And I'm not going to take that attitude from you.
Umkhwebane unikele ikomiti le ukufika namhlanje emini ukuthi iphendule imfiso zakhe.
Umhlabi mkhosi ehlelweni lokuthwasiswa kwamapholisa ukhombele bona kwenziwe iphenyo elingeneleleko msinyazana. Iphenyo elo imphumela yakhona elindwe ngamehlo abomvu limalungana nezenzo zobukerikitshane nakuthathwa amapholisa ngo-2022. Imphumela yakhona ayikakhutshwa nanje naphezu kokuthi ukommissionari omkhulu wamapholisa uFani Masemula aqinisekise ikomiti yezamapholisa eParliament bona iza kukhutshwa ngaphambi kwenyanga uNdaka umnyaka lo.
Amapholisa ngaphezulu kwenkulungwane ezilithumi aqede ukuthwasiswa emakholeji ahlukahlukene kwamapholisa ngoNobayeni umnyaka opheleleko. Umnyanya wabo ngomkhulu ukukhutshwa njengamapholisa amatsha kwenzelwe college engekulu yamapholisa eTlakhwini ePitori. Wakhanjelwa nangumengameli welizwe uCyril Ramaphosa. Kodwa indaba ezivela nje ngezithi abanye babhadela amanye amapholisa bona bathole amaforomo ukuthi nabo babizwe emapholiseni. Umhlabi mkhosi obike indaba le emapholiseni uyahlathulula bona ubukhohlakalo obu busebenza njani.
Waya ukusachelete ndani babuza ukuyisa kayi. Abafika lutho you deposit go Shoprite ko money market. So after money market and then uziya phone oromela SMS ko muthu wa recruitment office o sa meeting lo meet uyizi ke na litho mama Rehani ke na meeting and after that wabuwa o tlo botsa litho mama Rehani hore o berekile byang. Then yena o contacta muthu then wa motlhalosetse hore ne tšhelete le patetse le wa mmotsa hore ne o ikrei then wa buwa mo yena hape o tlo botsa hore ne difomo ke na fa difomo iso mama Rehani ke na o printela difomo o fa difomo as no fa difomo then wa botsa hore wena as no kata difomo tse di se any police station mara tse pedi and then wena as no o sa di police station tse pedi tseo o make sure ya hore o bua mo bona beke and then ba tlhalosetsa hore ke police let's say for example ke Central Police Station le Rietgat Police Station ke example. So now we have a tlhalosetsa hore ne ke ile go Rietgat le Central. So bona that side go recruitment office ba make sure ya hore go Rietgat le go Central office bonya document tsa because already the document tsa bona le phateng go ditsitsing already documents ba di tshwere mo bona.
Phezu kwamapholisa bekathwasisa alithumi lenkulungwane. Amapholisa ayi-4,356 ahlanjululwe liphenyo lezesayensi. Kodwa ayi-337 akhange zivele imbawo zabo. Wanje indaba eqalwe khulu kukhethwa kwaboconstable abayi-5,567 azange basebenze namkha baqede itwasiso yabo yokusebenza ngokutorha. Amacala avule police station yeThembe Amanskraal eHillbrow kunye neEdenvale.
As soon as these allegations were brought to our attention, the National Commissioner instituted a forensic investigation. Thus far, 3 people have been arrested. None of them are SAPS employees. They are actually civilians that were found to be promising applicants job opportunities within the South African Police Service.
Kwanje okamehla phezu kombiko zakubuya wephenyo lezesayensi okhetha amapholisa aboconstable ebekufanele ukhutshwe kupheleni kwenyanga le epheleleko.
Kudunyuzwe kwabulawa umfelokazi wenkosana uSayid Mnisi nakudabuka ukusa kwanamhlanje emkhuhlu hlanu kweHazy View eMpumalanga. uCharlene Matthews udunyuzwe madoda angaziwako amdumuze namalunga amabili womndeni wakhe. Isehlakalo esisenzeke ngemva kwamalanga amabili ungazimbi abulunge usobenda bakhe. Inkosana uMnisi udunyuzwe amahlandla amaningi ngeveke epheleleko hlanu kwedoyelo lemphaphamtshini iKruger National Park Airport.
Akukomi nenyembezi emehlo namalunga womndeni kwaMnisi ngemva kokubeka inkosana uClyde ngempela veke. Namhlanje sekubulewe umfelokazi wakhe uCharlene Matthews. Naye ubulewe njengosebenza bakhe ngokudunyuzwa. Umndeni uthi ungazimbi eminyaka ema-30 lo urabhele khulu enilelesini kanti bathi basathukiwe nanje.
Lento yenzeke lapha ayisiphathanga kahle. Silimele njengobukhosi, silimele njengefamily ngomndeni. Ngoba bisalindele ukuthi indlovukazi isazosichazela ukuthi yini lo le umfowethu amtshele yona le amchazele yona ukuthi kwenteka lokhu nalokhu nalokhu wamanje nje sisele sodwana akekho umuntu ozositshela lokwenzekile ngoba yena bekungiyena umuntu lo ngathi bekazositshela ngqondo sizwa uhlungu masibheke lezi ngane lezi sibona lapha zisele zodwana zisala zodwana umakoti wethu indlovukazi ucelile ukuthi ningangibulali nginabantwana labasesebancane kakhulu ngicela ukuthi nginikeze imali ngiphilele labantwana kodwa noma kunjalo bambulele bantwana abasele bodwana silimele kakhulu sihlobezeke kakhulu emoyeni.
Usakhile Nkuna nelinye ilunga lomndeni basinde ekufeni balimele.
Mina bengilele mangilele bunkuve umuntu angena lo muntu angena bunku wavuka wangivusa mina kanti lo muntu ungishayile mangishaya bunku walona ngizivalo waqeda wahamba ngala kulala ku squeeze khona ngilala ku squeeze lo abuya ngala ku bunku futhi mina ngaluba ngefastela ngajumpa mthangana ngayobito kumakhelwana.
Amapolisa aphenya icala lokubulala nokulinga ukubulala.
Sivule umlando wokubulala futhi nemlando yethu yokuzama ukubulala ngemva kokuthi sibizwe namhlanje ekseni kuthiwa umfelokazi wa udelete chief minister naye uDutshuliwe ushoniwe kanye namalunga amabili khona lapha ekhaya. Kwamanje ngeke sithi siyazi ukuthi imbangela yalokududula yini kodwa siyaqhubeka ngoluphenyo lethu in terms of ukuthi singathi kuyahlobana ukududula kwa chief minister nomfazi wakhe asikho sure kwamanje kodwa siya investigate ngeke sivale ngaphandle liphenyo lethu sithi hayi cha akusho ukuthi ngibo labantu lababulale uchief oraksibo kodwa ke sizaqhubeka si-investigate siyathemba ukuthi imphumela yeliphenyo lethu izosinikeza impendulo kulona.
Ikosana umnisi bekalindeleke ukuthi avele khotho inyanga le mayelana necala elihlotshaniswa nokubulawa kwemkhombo. Bekube nje akwaziwa ukuthi umnisi nenkosikazi yakhe babulwe bobani ukuthi abandabo basesengaphandle kanti amapolisa abawumphakathi ukuthi uvele ngaphambili nemniningwane engasiza ukubophezelela sizi.
Ikomiti yozokuhlengwa kwesimilo nezomthetho eParlamente yokubawa uSpeaker weParlamente bona akhuphe idakfare ekhampanini yezokuvikela iG4S bona izokuvela eParlamente. Indaba le iza ngemva kokuthi iG4S ibhalelwe kuvela eParlamente izokuhlathulula ukweqa ejele kwakaThabo Bestel. Ikhampani le kunokuthi iziyele eParlamente ithumele amagcwethayo.
iG4S besolo ibalwa nayo endabeni zokweqa kwakaThabo Bester ejele. uBester owaziwa njengomkati weFacebook sola baleke ejele ngomhayili womnyaka opheleleko nakaza kweqa ejele leMangaung Correctional Facility eligadwe iG4S. Amalunga weParlamente bekalindele ukuzwa impendulo eminyangweni yombili kunye nakuG4S bonyana kutholakale ubuqiniso bendaba yokuthi weqa kanjani uBester. Nanyana kunjalo ukungaveli kweG4S eParlamente kuwasilinge kokugcina amalunga weParlamente. iG4S ikhulume negcwetha layo bona ingalamukela ithuba lokubamba umhlangano kodwa ube ngaphasi kwevikeleko leParlamente. Ikhampani le ibali imfuneko zayo zokugodla ifihlo ekateleleke bona izilandele yabawa ivikeleko leParlamente.
Now, it's only by virtue of Section 22 of the Parliamentary Privileges and Immunities Act that a witness can be immunized from its liability for breach of contract or any other kind of liability in response to a summons. And that's why, as it's been explained as quickly as possible in the letter yesterday, and certainly without any intention of causing disrespect, that G4S has requested to be summoned so that it can make the appropriate witnesses and the appropriate documents available as quickly as possible.
The resolution of the committee is that one, G4S will be summoned to appear on the date that will be agreed upon between ourselves and the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the date will not be the one as determined by G4S. We will determine the date together with the Speaker of the National Assembly.
Nasibuya entolo
asimisi imoto abantu abaningi bahamba ngeimoto which ngama-disk asephelile.
Bahlawulisiwe abashayeli inkolo ezingakakulungeli ukuba sendleleni. Inhlangano ye-DA ikhethe ubuholi obutsha ngempela veke sibuya kiyo. Umholi wehlangano le uJohn Steenhuisen ukhethwe kwehlandla lesibili bona dose phambili ihlangano yesibili engekulu enarheni le. Kanti uthe nakakhuluma nephiko lendaba wathi i-EFF ne-ANC nazingabusa ngokuhlanganyela ngemva kwamakhetho kawokowoke ngomnyaka ozako abantu abatlhagako bayokutlhaga ukuya phambili.
Umholi we-DA uJohn Steenhuisen uthi ngemva kweconference yangempela veke yokukhethwa kobuholi obutsha behlangano le unethemba lokuthi i-DA izokuthumba i-ANC ngamavoti angaphezu kwe-50% emakhethweni womnyaka ozako.
By the time the 2024 election rolls around, given load shedding, given the poverty and hunger, given the inflation crisis in South Africa, given the rising cost of living, I think more and more South Africans are going to walk away from the ANC and start looking at other parties.
I-DA ithi inethemba lokuthi ngokubambisana nenhlangano ezinye eziphikisako bangakhona ukusebenzisana ekubuseni ngokuhlanganyela ngemva kwamakhetho kawoke womnyaka ozako. Uthi nange i-ANC ingabusa ngokuhlanganyela ne-EFF umnotho wenarha le uzokulimala ukuya phambili begodwa izenzelwa zomphakathi angeze zafika esitshabeni okutsho ukuthi abantu abathembele kuhulumende basazokutlhaga ukuya phambili. uSteenhuisen ubuvikele obuholi bakhe obutsha obukhethiweko ngemva kokuthi ahlatshwe ngonobangela ukuthi abahola abatsha abaningi ehlanganeni nakhe madoda amakhuwa wathi batsho ihlangano le ngiyawo wonke umuntu.
32% of the DA support comes from black South Africans, 31% of it from coloured South Africans, 7% from Indian South Africans, and 30% from white South Africans. It is by far the most diverse support base, which shows that the DA is making inroads across all communities in South Africa.
Njengomana ihlangano le izokuragela phambili nokulungiselela amakhetho womnyaka ozako nje ijamile emagameni ayo ukuthi izokuthumba i-ANC ngamavoti angaphezulu.
Ukukhambiselela indaba le sinomhleli wendaba zepolitiki uMzwandile Mbeje esizoqalisana naye indaba ezi. Mbeje siyakwamukela.
Sikwamukele sibungele nababukeli.
Inengi labantu abakhethwe enkundleni zale hlangano babantu abangaziwako bazokuba nomthelelo ongangani ekuphakamiseni ihlangano le.
Mhlambe ungathi abaziwa kithi kumbe kubantu abangayelona ilungu abangewona amalungu eqembu le-DA kodwa ke kubantu abangaphakathi abantu laba asebekhombisile ukuthi ngempela ba amalungu futhi ba abaholi. Uzokhumbula phela umuntu njengoJohn Steenhuisen kade ehola emva kokuthi umusi Mayimane ephuma kanti ke nalo umholo omdala uHelen Zille usekhona. Ngokusho kwabo ke bathi ke lolu holo abalikhethile bafisa ukuthi kube yilona ke oluzokwazi ukuthi lihole ithimba lokhetho lika-2024 ngoba bethemba ukuthi bazoba uhulumeni olandelayo.
uSteenhuisen ube bangisana isikhundla noMpho Palatse ekuzwakala bona uthola amavoto aphasi khulu. Khani singatsho sithi lokho kutshengisa ukuthi amalunga we-DA anokuzaza ngokudoswa phambili ngumma onzima.
Ngicabanga ukuthi angeke mhlambe kube ubulungiswa ukuyibeka ngendlela yokuthi abamvotelanga ngoba umuntu wesimame futhi omnyama kodwa umuntu njengo John Steenhuisen une track record kusho ukuthi ke unomlando eqembini abantu be-DA amalunga e-DA ayamazi kudala embona enza izinto kusho ukuthi ke ayakwazi ukuthi umuntu oyingxenye ye-DA kanti ngodokotela uMphophalatsi waziwe nje ngesikhathi ke esezoba imeya nakhona kuba imeya kube imeya esikhashana esincane ngaleyo ndlela angicabanga ukuthi abantu abamalungu bayakwazi ukwenza isinqumo esiphelele ngomuntu osikhathi sakhe sincane ukuthi bethathe isinqumo ngaye.
Isiqubulo sehlangano le sithi siyihlangano kawokuwoke kodwa kunabanye ke abakholwa ukuthi ihlangano ejamele isiqhenyana esithize esiraga inkhuluphelo zaso. Ungaphawula uthini?
Njengokusho kwabo ke bathi bayafisa njoba kade udlala le clip ethe uJohn Steenhuisen eshukuthi basekelwa abantu abangakanani ngokweinhlanga ezihlukene. Umbuzo ke Branko omkhulu ukuthi uma kuukuthi ngempela bayilento abayiyona bheka ubuholi lobukhethiwe bona uma uzobheka uhlaka lobuholi babo i-top 10 uma uzobheka ke labantu abayishumi bathatha kuphela abantu okungebona belungu umuntu omnyama uSolimalatsi uAshu bese kuba uIvan Meyer okuyibona abantu abangabona belungu bonke laba abanye uma kuukuthi uyiqembu ngempela elithilimele wonke umuntu ngokulinganayo yini ubuholi bungakhombisi lokho. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi isifiso sabo ukuthi bemele wonke umuntu kodwa mhlambe okuyinyo enye izinto eziwumsuka wabo zisabenza ngempela ukuthi mhlambe kube nzima ukuthi abantu abaningi baseNingizimu Afrika bebe yingxenye yabo.
Nasenzibonelo phambili ubona ukuthi ubuholi lobu obutsha buzokuba nomthelelo ongangane ehlanganweni le emakhethweni omnyaka ozayo.
Angicabanga ukuthi kuzoba nomehluko ongako ngoba iDA ibuyele kulokhu abantu babekwazi iyikho. iDA yayiqala ukukhombisa umehluko ngesikhathi ke iphethwe umusi. Uzokhumbula ukuthi kwazabu zaziyiningi izilogani abanye abantu bazibize becabanga ukuthi hawo engathi sekuyi-ANC nayo lena awukho umehluko. Manje nje obusuphethwe yilabo abaholi isibuyele kulokhu iDA eyikho. Angicabanga ukuthi mhlambe abantu izothola abantu abaningi kakhulu kunalokho okulindelekile. Yebo bona banesifiso ukuthi bekhule kungenzeka bekhule kodwa angikholwa ukuthi bazokhula befike ezingeni lapho ukuthi bengakwazi ukuguluza ukhongolose.
Ngokubona kwenu nibona ubuholi lobo buhlukile na naqalwa ezinye inhlangano zepolitiki?
Abehlukile kakhulu mangabe senomuntu njengoHelen Zille akekho umuntu ongamazi uHelen Zille okade hola iDA isikhathi eside uma ukuthi umuntu njalo useyingxenye yobuholi uzokhumbula phela ukuthi ngokweDA isikhundla esibanjwe uHelen Zille ungasifanisa nesika nobhala jikelele kusho ukuthi ke yena umuntu oseyinjini yeqembu uma kuukuthi siyayazi injini yeqembu ngoba phela uke wayihola vele iDA okusho ukuthini na ukusho ukuthi ayikho into ezohluka kakhulu kulokhu esikwaziyo ngesikhathi kwayena uHelen Zille ese umholi weDA.
Mzondile siyathokoza.
Sibonga kakhulu.
Loyo ngumzondile Mbeje omhleli wezepolitiki kwa SABC. Abatshayeli abanengi namhlanje ekseni banikelwe amathikithi ngokuchayela izinkolo ezingakakulungela ukuba sendleleni kunye nangokukhamba ngezinkoloyi ezingakathelelwa eSoshanguve ehlagwini ePitori. Umnyango wezendlela nenithuthi uthome ngokusemthethweni ijima lezokuphepha ngesikhathi samagude endleleni enguthela walisa iR80 ehlanganisa iPitori kunye nehlagwini eTshwane.
Ijima lezokuphepha endleleni ngokubambisana phakathi kwemphathiswa zomthetho zokuthutha kunye namapholisa libanjelwe kule ndlela. Ukhuthazwa bekuchotshozelwa zokuphepha khulukhulu enthuthini zomphakathi. Bezomthetho bebajamisa nanyana ngiyiphi kuloyi ngitsho nethuthi imali imbanga. Baqala ukuthi ngakhani imithelo isaphelele na yendlela. Usomkhandlu wezokuthutha esifundeni seGauteng uKidibone Diyale Tlabela ukhuthaza abakhambi ngenyawo ukuthi nabo bahloniphe amathwayo wendlela.
We've seen people jaywalking on our freeways, but then pedestrians in townships, in different places where we are, they walk around drunk, and in most cases they are the ones who then get to die on our roads.
ukusukela sifika la nekuseni masiqala ngale operation sithola ukuthi masimisa imoto abantu abaningi bahamba ngeimoto which ngama disk asephelile nalabo abahamba ngeenyawo nabo siyacela nje kubo ukuthi abahambe bephephile bangangeni endleleni bedakiwe abanye bephuzile.
Abashayeli babuka ukusungulwa kwejima leli bathembisa nokuthi bazoziphatha kuhle endleleni.
Is the disc okay?
Kulindele ukuthi amajima anjengaleli arage bekudlule nesikhathi sepela veke yamaholiday weGudi.
And then when you drive you must buckle up.
Izakhamuzi eziningi zithembele kuhulumende bona aphakele ngezenzelo zomphakathi. Izenzelo lezi zifaka hlangana amanzi, indlwana zokuzithuma, izindlu, inkolo, indlela nokhunye. Kuvamile bona imphakathi ingenele imchagalo yezenzelwa zomphakathi. Kanengi vane kulilwe ngobukhohlakali bokwetshiwa kwemali ekubhalelweni kokupha abantu izenzelwa. Kanti ke kwabanye kuyokuba kungazi bona umasipalata enzeni ngemali abelwe yona igcine seyiphelelwa sikhathi bese ibuyiselwa emuva.
Kuvamile bona abomasipalata bekhetapha babuyisela imali ababelwe zona emuva nangabe sekuphela umnyaka emali loyo imali ingakasebenzi kokupheleleko. Ukube kanti ngahlanye abantu basalilela izenzelwa. Ngokuya kwendinyana yomthetho okuhlukanisela ngemali isection 22 of 1 yomnyaka u2019 iDivision of Revenue Act imali yabela iminyango ngokuhlukana kwayo nangabe ikasetshenziswa nakuphela umnyaka emali kufuze buyisele emgodlweni enarha. Kanti indawo eziningi esizemakhaya kunye namalokishini eSouth Africa sahlakiswa kufumana izenzelo ezifana namanzi kunye negezi kufuze bona abomasipalata babalethele zona. Umhla ka-31 kuNdaka bekulilanga lokubana abomasipalata babuyisa imali nayingakasetshenziswa. Hlangana nezinye imfundo ezibuyisela imali emuva ngeveke epheleleko kubalula nesifunda sehlagwini iTshengalanga. Isifundo esinanyana kungesinye semfundo esinabantu abahlaga kakhulu begodi nezenzelo zomphakathi sithondela sibuyisele emuva imali engaba yi400 million yamaranda kile ebebayelwe yona i1 billion yamaranda. Kanti imali engakasetshenziswa izokwabela eminye iminyango namkha ezinye imfunda. Ngeveke epheleleko iphiko lendaba le-SABC lihatsha indaba yomsamari olungileko othethe imali kwabhorela abantu amanzi kanti godi nakungana gezi usebenzisa isigenerator yakhe ukupompela abantu amanzi.
Bawemetse morago yaka tsele ntsinyana ba gaetso ha rena dikriba e bangwe ra kadima mo ba bangwe tshontsho mo gelelene.
Prior elections, every time prior elections, people they do get water from their yards, but after elections then it's back to square one. So that alone tells us that there is water available.
Izakhamuzi eziningi zehlagwini iTshengalanga zisesiphelele ithemba zikhombela urhulumente bona abalekelele.
And I think le ndaba yabomasipalata babuyisela imali emuva ibamraro khulukhulu ehlangothini lokuthi abantu basalila ngezenzelwa. Njenganje sikhulumisana nesazi kezemithetho yabomasipalata ubaba uSoli Masilela. Dlambilisi abamukele.
Asilotshise sokana lekhethu asinilotshise nonke silotshise nabalaleli bakho.
Sithokoze ehlelweni sibuya nenyanda. Uthini umthetho wazoba bomasipalata ngendaba yokubuyiselwa kwemali ezingakasetshenziswa bomasipala?
Asithokoze ndoda enkosini uyabona umthetho njengoba umlingana wakho ubekile kwesingenisweni sakhe iDivision of Revenue Act ithi umasipala wahluleka ukuberegisa imali khulukhulu kulo nyaka wemali imali leyo iyathatha ibuyisele esikhwameni esikhulu okuyi umnyango wezemali kuyadanisa ke ndokho kuyadanisa bekuyaswabisa nangaba bomasipala khulukhulu laba ebaqaleka njengabomasipala bezabelo zakade la umthlago ukhona kunganandlela kunganamanzi kunganani bese kuzwakala ukuthi kunemali ezibuyisele emuva njengoba so uvezile nje.
Kufanele ke khona vele mbala bonyana imali le ibuyelwe naphezulu kokuthi kuba khona ukuhlayela.
Kufanele ngombana qala umbuso wekhethu lomdeso wazi ukuthi kubereka ngamahlelo ama-system nama-structures izakhiwo kungakho sinomthetho lo bizwa ukuthi Systems Act bese siba nama-Structures Act. Imithetho le ihlinzeka bonyana imali njengombana sazi ukuthi izimali eziyindela yomuntu wonke yamnawe ziphathwe njani ziberegiswe njani and kodwa-ke nokulungiselela ukuthi unyaka mali omutsha umasipala ngamunye nomunye mntu athole abe khona akutholako i-division yakhe isahlulelo esivela embusweni ophakathi ukulungiselela konke lokho nangabe kunemali engakabuyiseki kuhle and nonga umasipala ongakayibawi ngoba kunesihlinzeko esivuma ukuthi umasipala angayibawa abawe into leyo ukuthi adlulise imali le ngezizathu ezithize nezithize nangakenzeki konke lokho imali le izobuyela embusweni ophakathi.
Dlambili kanti kwaRhulumende apha yikho indlela yokwelusa ukuthi abomasipalata ababuyisa imali bawenzile wonke umsebenzi sebabuyisa imali nje.
Ikhona zinengi indlela zokuhlola abomasipala aba njengoba sazi ukuthi neminyango emaprovinsini njenge-COGTA kanti-ke nangaphakathi komasipala khona imikhakha ehlolako ama-independent nama-internal auditors emde bahlola umasipala ukuthi ukhambisana ngoba mde umasipala azi ukuthi ngekota ubeke injamiso zokuthi imali lezoyiberekisela ini and then akwazi ukuthi aberekise imali le ngekota bese kuyahlolwa-ke. Ke ndoda nkosini njengoba sazi ukuthi kwangena ikhwaphiliso amahlelo lawo ama-systems lawo nama-structures lawo wonke awohlobazwa akasaqinanga nakakhona akafakwa abantu abanekhono nelwazi lokuthi bayikhambise. Enye into ekulu kugabhela kwabosopolitiki ku-management namkha-administration yomasipala mara-ke nehlelo leli ekubhajetwa ngalo kwamasipala kuyafuna ukuthi khe liqalisiswe ngoba into leseminyaka mningi yenzeka ithoma ukwenzeka njenganje ngoba ngibona umasipala ubhajetha mina centrally nangingabiza njalo akabhajetheli amawodi ukuthi iwodi enye nenye ibe nesabelo sayo namkha imali le isesikhwameni sikamasipala mara kube kuyazeka emaphepheni ukuthi iwodi ethize newodi ethize inesabelo sayo emdesibereke lokho futhi kungahelebha ukuberegisa namkha ukufunctionalize ama-ward committees ngoba sinama-ward committees kubomasipala bonke ngombana sazi ukuthi i-ward councillor ngokuya komthetho ngilo eliba kusihlalo we-ward committee leyo bakwazi ukuthi bamonitor imali leyo ukuthi iyaberegiseka nayingaberegiseki i-ward councillor lilandele iripota kumasipala ikhululeke iye emawadini yokuberegiseka mhlawumbe ihlelweli qalo elichugulule libereke ngendlela efana naleyo mhlambe singabona umehluko ngoba njenganje khona kuyaswabisa ukuthi abantu bekhethu kungenzeki lutho mara kube nemali ekuyisele emuva.
Ekulumeni nakho uveza indaba yokuthi kusuke kwangena ubukhohlakali nokukhwabanisa kanti eminye ke iminyango egade lokho uveza nokuthi okhunye ke itholakala engakaqini kuhle kuyini okungenza ukuthi kuqiniswe ukwenzela ukuthi kube nokubusa okuhle okuziphendulelako emiphakathini nakubahlali babomasipala.
Kokuthoma amahlelo la nekambiso le fanele ihlonishwe iberekiseke kuhle njengoba ngitshilo nalaba abantu abakhonjiwe kwababereka la babereke ngokuzwisisa nokukhambisa kuhle amahlelo la nomthetho ngoba amahlelo la akhamba ngomthetho. Yeke-ke inkinga ezinkulu ezinye zothola ukuthi kungena umuntu onganakhono lapho noma mhlambe imithetho namahlelo ikhona yokuthi ungathuthukisa indawo leyo umuntu lwakazi dathophepi. Wesibili ukukhwabanisa kwenza ukuthi bomasipala balinde ihlekelele ngaphandle kokuba baberegisa imali kwangabi nehlekelele babese bahluleka ukuyiberegisa ngoba nawungaqala esikhathini esiningi umbuso imikhakha le yonke imali iberegiseka kakhulu ukuthoma lapha kubo September kubo October kula khona imali bathoma uyiberegisa isikhathi esisoko unyaka lo wonke bajamile lokho kuletha ukuzinza ukuthi beyilindwe ukuthi kube nekhora kube nesehlakalo esizakwenzeka la imali le iza kuberegiswa ngoba siyazi kwaba nesehlakalo namkha i-crisis uyaphambuka ku-public financial management uyakhona ukuphambuka ku-municipal finance act uberegisa umthetho ohabileko lokho-ke kuyenza-ke ukuthi ukhona ukuthi udobha abangani bakho lapha-ke ubafake-ke emathendeni ubafake-ke ukukhwabanisa okukhulu ukuthoma lapho-ke endodokosini.
Ubuye waveza nokuthi kwaba nokungena kwenhlangano zepolitiki. Ukungena kwenhlangano zepolitiki kungaba ngendlela eziningi zokuthi mhlambe bangena bayakhalima. Khani bowutsho kuphi?
Ukungenelela ngisho lokuqala mbuzi amahlelo engikhulume ngawo la nama structures la imikhakha le isinzekele ku Systems Act na ku Structures Act kunesahluko esithi usopolitiki mntaqale into elebizwa ukuthi uhlola ukuba oversight ngamanye amagama ukuphosilisa ukuthi administration le iberegisa kuhle imali na. Kwathoma ke kwaba nomvangano lapho ke kunokuthi abasopolitiki babere kumbere kwabo ukwelusa iadministration thole sebanikela bona ama instructions ukuthi nangu umuntu umnikela itender wena njengomelunenza nangu umuntu umnikela lokho kuba nenkinga ke lapho ke bese kuvela into leyo ukuthi ukhwabanisa ke nawucalayo.
Dlambile lapha sengikufaka ekhoneni bese kuhlathululwa kuthiwani nase kubuyela emphakathini uyokwaziswa ukuthi imali ubuyele emva ikhibe umphakathi usalile.
Angikholwa ukuthi kuyavezwa nakuvezwako abantu bekhaya basuke bangazi ukuthi ukuziphendulela iaccountability bangababuza njani abantu bekhaya basengakafundise ukuthi ngehlelo la kamasipala nangabe bayafika babike kungakho ke kusizathu esikhulu esenza bonyana uthola ukuthi amakhansela amanengi akasakhona ukuyela emphakathini abusela impilo efika ngoba nabafika le nabangafika bathi sibuyisela amamiliyoni amahlanu ewodini le abantu abazokuvungama ngoba abantu aba beze nje kubuthaka lapho baphela ukuthi babe namanzi baphela ukuthi indlela zibe khona ngamanye amagama mde kube nehlelo kodwa lokufundisa umphakathi lo ngokubuswa kwabomasipala nokubuswa kweprovince nokubuswa kombuso phakathi ukuthi ukhambisa kanjani bakwazi ukuthi bakwazi ukubamba abaholi baba babe nokuziphendulela ekwenzeni imbereko le na ibudget lena ilethiweko ayilethwa kuhle banikele nethuba ukuthi tebayithathe bokuhlala naye ekhaya bayifunde isiyathatha inikela amakhansela nawo amakhansela la yalila amaningi athi ifika la dakithi kanti kuhlala kusasa isikhathi ifika namhlanje ntambama kusasa kuyahlalwe nifika inkulunkulu iBhayibheli kaze elikhulu asinasikhathi sokulifunda kuhle ukuthi sazi ngamanye amagama lawo mahlelo lawo inkambiso lezo ngize fanele zivalwe ukuze kube khona ukuziphendulela okuveleko.
Kodwa ngoba lapha kubomasipala haye kubanjwe amahlelo ukubonisana nomphakathi ukwazi ukubonisana ngehlelo le-IDP ngezinto ezifunwa umphakathi bese nazi ingakenzeki ngubane kufuze aphendule umphakathi lo nawunekhansela olijameleko emkhandlweni kamasipala.
Ngiyo ke into engiyikhuluma leyo ukuthi kufanele kuqiniswe ama-ward committees la ngamanye amagama ukubusa lokhu ungabusi ibudget le ingafiki ihlale kwamasipala apha noma ihlezi uchazeleke kuhle iward committee ekufanele ichazele abantu aba bekusuya umeya uyeza uzoyisekela kuhle into zama-IDPs kufanele zilidwe yi-ward committee ikhulume ngezinto ezithengisa abantu unyaka opheleleko isho nokuthi sikhambe kangaka umasipala usinikele imali engaka federa ukuya phambili sibhalule lana la unyaka ozako bese ukuzama ukuthi sivaleke mhlambe kamagede lawa esibona ukuthi azivalele lawa into leyo ngiyo yenza ukuthi kube ne-accountability i-ward committee ngiyo emdebeni ukuziphendulela kumasipala ngemali lezi ebefanele ziye lapha begodwa bezophendulelo emphakathini yeke-ke indima enye nenye i-role specifications ne-role classification enenye efanele idlale ngomunye nomunye umuntu okwamasipala ayiseyihlangahlangene ekhulu isichongo awusayisakhona ukuthi ibehleleke kuhle ngokuya ngendlela umthetho ofuna ngayo.
Baba Masilela sithokoze khulu isikhathi nelwazi osabele lona.
Sithokoza khulu sithokoza ithuba.
Umengameli weUganda uYoweri Museveni ulindeleke bona awutlikihle njengomthetho umthethomlingwa uphikisana nokuthandana ngobulili obufanako. Umthethomlingwa lo uhlatshwe ngamagama abukhali bachochozela abanengi bezamalungelo obuntu. Abanye babo bathi uMseveni angathoma utlikihle awenze umthetho.
Umthethomlingwa ophikisana nezenzo zokuthandana ngokobulili obufanako uchukumisa isigwebo sokufa ezenzweni ezikhambisana nokuthandana ngokobulili obufanako nesigwebo eside sokudosetshele. Iparlamente ye-Uganda yamukele umthethomlingwa lo ngenyanga epheleleko kanti kulindeleke bona wenziwe umthetho umengameli Yoweri Museveni nasela uphasisile. Umthethomlingwa lo ubangele i-Uganda bona ihlatshwe mahlangothi wonke wephasi. Inhlangano zamalungelo obuntu zathi uMuseveni angawuphasisi. Ukomishinara wezamalungelo wobuntu ehlanganweni yentshaba ezibumbeneko uthi ukwamukelwa komthetho omutsha lo yinto ephazamisa kakhulu. I-America beyithusela ngokutsunya i-Uganda kodwa noMuseveni usagandelela bona amazwe wangaphetsheya akalise ukuletha imikhuba yayo yangaphetsheya e-Uganda. uMuseveni uthi ukuya emsemeni yinto eyifihlo akukafanele ukuthi kusolo kuphikiswana ngayo emphakathini.
Kanti indaba nazisenjalo ihlangano ephikisako ngeSouth Africa pha i-EFF ichagalele ngaphandle kwama-ofisi wobuzenda be-Uganda ePitori ukuyokuzokalisa ukungathabi kwayo ngomthethomlingwa lo. Inhlangano eziningi ezizijameleko ziwuhlabile lo mthethomlingwa. I-Open for Business Coalition ithi umthetho lo nange waphasiswa uzokulimaza umnotho we-Uganda begodu uzoqotha imvakatshi bukeli e-Uganda.
This house will not shy to restrict any right to the extent of the house recognizes, protects and safeguards the sovereignty of this country.
Iparlamente ye-Uganda ivotele bona kuphasise umthethomlingwa ophikisana ngokuthandana kobulili obufanako. Umthethomlingwa lo ususe iinkulumo eziningi ezivele phasini zombelele njengomana uthi abantu abathandana ngokobulili obufanako babotshwe bagwetshe idilikajele kunye nesigwebo sentambo ngezenzo zokuthandana ngokobulili obufanako.
Human rights are universal. No one should be attacked, imprisoned, or killed simply because of who they are or whom they love.
Amabhizinisi amaningi eKampala azwakalise ukuthwenyeka nawo ngomthelela womthethomlingwa lo.
It puts businesses in an impossible situation. Either they violate the law in Uganda or they are going against international standards of corporate responsibility as well as human rights laws of the countries in which they are headquartered.
Gandekhetho apha ihlangano ye-EFF ibambe umtshagalo ngaphandle kobuzenda bePitori ukuyokuzwakalisa kungakathabi kwabo.
Freedom must be enjoyed by all. You cannot promote hate and then we fold our arms and don't show the Ugandan government that we don't agree with hate. We are victims of hate. We were discriminated on the basis of our identity. And as a result, so many people were killed. And this law that is passed now in Uganda is going to be an act of hate.
Mengameli wa Uganda Yoweri Museveni wacho lokhu ngamalungelo wabantu abathandana ngokobulili obufanako.
This is the mistake of Western countries. They are the ones who are provoking because they are really, the English word is insufferable. You can't put up with their nonsense because nobody concentrates so much on homosexuals and nobody is hunting them. But because they come and want to force us to say homosexuality, oh yeah, that's how you get now a backlash.
Umthethomlingwa lo ulindele ukutlikitlwa ngumengameli Museveni ngani ngomnyaka 2014 watlikitla umthethomlingwa ofana nalo wahlatshwa zinhlangano ngokuhlukahlukana kwazo ngaphambi kokuthi oragwe yikhotho ngokungalandela indlela efaneleko.
Ziphatheke kumbihle inhlangano kunye nabachochozeli babantu abazwana ngobulili obufanako nabanye abawela ngaphasi kwe-LGBTQI+. Hlangana nabo kubalwa nomchochozeli uNomalizwi Mhlongo esinaye njenganje emtatweni. Nomalizwi siyakwamukela.
Thokoza ngiyabonga kakhulu ithuba okunikeza lona.
Niziphendulela nithini kilomthetho kaHulumende weUganda?
Okokuqala nje lo mthetho sibuka njengocindezela umuntu phecelezi i-oppression ophinde futhi unqise ilungelo labantu bokuthi bakwazi ukuphila nje in general. Uphinde lo mthetho ulethe inzondo kubantu emphakathini bese uletha noqhekeko nokuhlukana kubantu nje bephila bunkana.
Ningathini nabe niqalanizwa lendaba ngikuphi eningathanda ukukubona abantu bezi balapha eUganda bakwenza ukulwa nale nkulumo ebonakala inkulumo enehloyo?
Kukho konke nje okuzogcina kwenzeka bengingafisa ukuthi kube semqondweni wabo ukuthi umthetho eshawayo ayishayelwi izilwane kodwa ishayela abantu abaphilayo abanemizwa abazwela futhi nabuhlungu nabanelungelo lokuphila. So kukho konke ongagcine kwenzeka akubekeke umuntu phambili kungabekeki ukuthi umuntu uphila mpiloni uphila hlobo luni lempilo kodwa let the human rights be the one okuyiwona ahamba phambili.
Nomalizwi siyathokoza umbono osiphe wona namhlanje sehlelweni.
Thank you so much.
Ngezemidlalo sikhambisana nomhloli wendaba zemidlalo etafuleni yendaba zesiNdebele uMabhande Thombeni. Chikwana siyakumukela. Kujame njani ehlangothini lezemidlalo?
Ngiyathokoza Nkambule, ngiyathokoza nombukeli ekhaya. Uzakhumbula ukuthi iProteas ijame ngokwekhaba lakhona ukuthi ilungele ukuyokudlala kuphi na ku World Cup. Manje okwenzekile kuyini? Ngempela veke esibuya kiyo le ithumbile imidlalo yayo emibili. Nje seyilungele ukuyokudlala ibhigiri yephasi. Okuzokwenzeka kufanele ukuthi yona njengoba isebujameni bobunane lapha ku Super League seyilindele umdlalo weBangladesh neIreland. Kodwa ukuthumba kweBangladesh kuyatsho ukuthi ukuthumba nje umdlalo omunye weBangladesh kuyatsho ukuthi iProteas vele seyiphumelele iya ku World Cup. Nange iIreland ithumbe imidlalo emithathu yeODI kuzobe kuthi ukuthi bese lapho kuba nerun rate kuyaqalwa ukuthi nayihlangeneko iIreland nayihlangene neProteas nahlangene zomabili ngiyiphi esebenza kuhle ukudlula zombili bese ke nakuqedwa lapho kukhona iphasako namkha iphumelelako iProteas yona nange ingabhalelwa kuyokufanele uyokudlala eZimbabwe imidlalo yokuhlungela iWorld Cup kodwa nazikhambela kuhle singatsho sithi nje 99.5% ukuthi seyikhona lapha ebhigirini ephasi kuWorld Cup.
Kodwa ke nawusithi siqalile ngeform yayo njenganje iSouth Africa lapha kuma Proteas angangana amathuba ukuthi nayifika ku World Cup ingakwazi ukufika esiqongolweni.
Mbuzo muhle lo Msuthu. Uzakhumbula ukuthi seyinaba abantu lababili kuthome nonyaka nje. Shukri Kondrad ubambisene kani ubandule lapha itest kanti ke ngaphana ungathi uyaqala naye lapha ke uRob Walter bese ke uphethe ubandule ODI nemidlalo yeT20 bobabili nabahlangeneko benza into yinye Proteas siyathembela eSouth Africa angathembela ku Proteas iraga kamnandi.
Sithokoze khulu kwamambala Thombeni. Andike kwanje sekusikhathi sokuthi siyoqala ubujamo bezulu kwanamhlanje kulungile asihlanganeni godo ngokuzako nisale nomusa.